Welcome, everyone. My name is Mike Brindley. I'm a Senior Vice President for the Solutions Advisors Group. And today with me is Lauren Messmer. And I'm going to introduce Lauren today. And I want Lauren to talk about her position with Solutions Advisors Group and Solvier Living, as well as something about our organization and maybe some fun facts about who we are that we can share with our listening audience today. Lauren, great to have you.
Thanks for having me. We are a sales and marketing consulting company. We also provide lead generation and digital services. We work only in the older adult senior living industry, anywhere from standalone active adult communities to independent living, assisted living, memory care, up to CCRCs, whether entrance fee or rental. So the bottom line is we help communities generate leads and convert leads to move-ins to improve occupancy.
We've been through a lot here the last few months. I feel like this is all we do is Zoom platform and other types of video platforms as well. Let's talk about COVID and how do you think the business model's changed and what do you think we're doing differently and maybe more effectively than we were doing prior to COVID?
Oh gosh, it's changed and it's still changing. So it's definitely not sitting in place yet. COVID has presented a total seismic disruption to senior living, as it has to the entire country and world. But the communities we work with have to focus on safety and security for residents and team members, as well as looking at protocols in place, social engagement, connectivity, being a safe harbor to new move-ins. And it really has been a huge shift in how we are working with everyone, one another, and the prospects in which we engage as well. We have people who are suffering and continue to suffer from loneliness and lack of socialization and engagement, potentially even having physical challenges because of a lack of activity. So there's all that background kind of feeding into, then we still have to maintain occupancy. We still have to be there and do our jobs while we're also keeping all the residents safe and the team members safe that we can. So there's been a big balance, a big shift to digital marketing and definitely a virtual focus. Connecting and engaging with people virtually has dominated the forefront of our sales and marketing efforts. However, there has to be a balance between reliance on those virtual touch points and, we can't go out and saturate the market with e-blasts and e-newsletters and not still engage personally, even if it's what you and I are doing face-to-face right now. Some areas of the country, we have home visits with prospects outside of their homes. Some of our communities are allowing tours, particularly if they're very specific and targeted. But I think the bottom line lesson is that historically, we potentially have worked in an industry where we work with people who are reluctant or unable to engage in a digital way or virtual way, and COVID has forced the hand of those people in our communities to stay connected virtually, and that is driving everything that we are doing.
I think that's really important because if you think about when you started this company 11 years ago with Kristen Kutak Ward during the height of a recession, if this had been COVID 11 years ago, there would have not been the technology to have this connectivity that we're doing like this.
Absolutely. I think a lot of that connectivity would have still happened through mail, traditional marketing. And one of the things that Kristen and I have talked about is when we started the company, we started creating some sales tools in the process that were about customizing messaging to our prospects based on their interests and their needs. And so now we're doing that virtually, and that's kind of where we are as an industry, is shifting to that. I think some of the most important things to think about today is that we have to have open communication and clean communication with residents, team members, family members, prospects. Communication is the most important thing because that's what's leading to the engagement, the connection, and the education of what we're doing, our communities are doing to keep people safe. We have FAQs on websites that talk about what we're doing. We have virtual town halls with residents and depositors and prospects to talk about what we're doing. We have posts on social media to talk about that. And we are incorporating family member testimonials, resident testimonials into video content to be able to communicate the safety and security that people feel being in a senior living community today. So I think one thing as an industry we have to do is band together and say, you know, we owe it to each other and to the people that live with us to make this a better place and to communicate to the world. People are better living in this type of environment. They're engaged, they have access to wellness, they have access to dining, they have people who are constantly making sure that they're okay, and that it's a better place being there in a community than being isolated at home.
My daughter and I decided that it would be better for me to be here so that if something should happen, that I would have access to a physician or somebody to come in and look after me if I needed it.
You keep on touching about communication, and I think one of the things that as an organization that we did very well with our clients especially was talking about the need to be transparent during these times. And I think when our clients understood what we are talking about, it really made a difference with their families, and it made them better communicators to even their own families and residents, is my guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the transparency, which is one of our core values as an organization as well, is the most important thing to do. It is, we have to be, that's what provides the safety and security. And we're seeing one of the big differences we're seeing at every care level, but in independent living, obviously, is an increase in adult-child involvement in the decision-making process, and they're demanding that transparency right off the bat. They want to understand what's going on. So even with some of the larger entrance fee communities that are primarily 90%, you have the prospect themselves looking for senior living. Even in those situations, we have adult children who are being involved in that process.
Give me one or two you think cool or unique events we've done. Maybe they're digital or virtual that we've probably done since COVID started.
I think the most important thing about events that I've learned is to be realistic about the purpose. We've spent the last 5 months trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. We have the luxury of working with 30 different communities across the country, and so we're able to test in different markets, test different things. So some of the best and most successful events have been much more about conversion and advancement opportunities than it is about strict lead generation opportunities, which a lot of our traditional marketing and prior marketing for events, we focused a lot on lead generation. Now we're generating fewer leads. People are generating, although there is a trend starting to move back up recently in the last 30, 60 days. But really it's about the leads that are coming in are more interested, more qualified. And so the events are really about advancement, conversion, retention. So forming book clubs or forming virtual book clubs, virtual Bible studies, virtual happy hours, engaging people and connecting them in a social way, and then bringing in, if you're a new development, bringing in depositors, if you're an existing community, bringing in residents to that, and hosting small events like that. And then how can we make that and try to convert that into lead generation is when the depositor, the resident, or the prospect who attends says, you know, my friend is lonely. She would really love to join this book club. And so we want to serve everyone, not just the people that we work with, but other people as well, and be a resource to them. And so having those types of events have been fantastic. And I know you've had a lot of success with events with a couple of different communities on Facebook Live and.
Yeah, using social media as ways to push out who you are and the uniqueness of your community, I think has been very important. Our Media Awards were just announced this week, and I know that's something you're very proud of. And so I'd like for you to share that as we wrap up today.
Well, you know, I am very proud of the Mature Media Awards, but if I can be very proud of one other thing first, which is that we've also were awarded Great Places to Work third year in a row within the last month or so. And that was very exciting for us as well. So we came into the summer with that awesome news, 3 years in a row, Great Places to Work. And then we did find out upon the release of the results last month that we were awarded 15 Mature Media Awards. One of them is for our booth that we designed. We did get receive a gold award for that, which we're extremely proud of. But we also received awards for logo development, website awards, direct mail, collateral, and it really is an honor to be recognized by the industry, because that's who's judging on this, for the creative work that our team is doing. So thank you for acknowledging that.
And Lauren, thank you for being part of this. And we're excited to share more things about Solutions Advisors Group and Solve Your Living the Future. Again, my name is Mike Brindley, Senior Vice President, along with Lauren Messmer. And we were glad to be a part of this today. And stay safe, everyone.